you're watching video way after the 25th of February 2023, probably you're watching it next week, the week after that, or the month after that, or probably watching this video in 2024. I don't take your time and data for granted. I don't take the fact that you actually sit down or you do whatever you do as you watch my videos for granted. I learn a lot through the interactions I have with people like you, and everybody else learns, especially from the people that engage, the people that comment during the live broadcast, and even the people that comment after the broadcast has been uploaded by YouTube. So 25 days into the month of February, 56 days into the year of 2023. So whatever you are doing, just know umwaka gutambula. Hi Stuart, long time. Hi Pascal Joseph. Stuart, obaddo obuze man. Obaddo obuze. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, ennaku tutambula ennaku atano mu mukaaga. Remember the year has 365 days. 365. It means that omwaka tugutwala. So very soon it will be the 65 days will be off, and then we'll be left with 300 days. Now 300 is a very small time because 150 will be half. 150 is very small time. So I understand that plenty of you guys are actually going to be buying cars now. Mutandika abana kasaba genda kusomera batandika kusoma for those of you that are paying school fees for your kids or for your siblings, or if you're a guardian to someone, then the school fees pressure has reduced. So now you're actually thank you for watching, Stuart. Just to overdo the bonswama who twaina guy bali bamuyita Professor Moropi yali atusomesa ku Lufaransa naye nga baba telutambula Faransa lwagana. My kid is learning French. He even sings French songs now. Actually, he's learning 2 languages now because he can speak English, but he's learning Uganda and French at the same time. Yeah, so we're going to be talking about trust. Now, trust applies in so many aspects of our life, but we focus on the aspect of trust when we're talking about cars. We focus on the aspect of trust when we're talking about, first of all, buying a car. We talk about trust when we are talking about the aspect of maintaining a car. We talk about the aspect of trust when we're talking about selling a car. Yeah. And we talk about trust when we are talking about the aspect of valuing a car. So whatever we do in life, whichever person we decide to deal with, being able to trust that person is very, very important. So that's why I thought that it is important that for today we find a way to talk about trust. So I have a number of points. I read a lot, so I've been trying to read about the subject of trust. If you have dealt with me, it means you trusted me to a certain extent. Now, the question of whether I live up to the expectations or not is something that only you can actually answer, especially for the guys that dealt with me. If you have bought a car with me, or if you have asked for a piece of advice, then you had a certain level of trust in me. Or if you have bought a tracking device from me, or if you have bought an alarm system for your car from me, or if you came and consulted on marketing, it means that you trusted me at a certain level. And whether I lived up to the trust, or while you were dealing with me, you'll definitely tell us whether I actually lived up to your expectations of trust. We need to understand what is trust, for example. And trust I can personally define the concept of trust as knowing that someone will do right by you, regardless of what conditions that happen. Someone will actually do right by you. For example, let me make it very simple. If I have a girlfriend, or if you have a girlfriend or boyfriend, and when we are in a relationship with someone, we expect that they will not at any moment cheat on us, because this is something that is home. You don't expect that they will start a relationship with another person, with a third party, because you're two parties in this relationship. So when you are in a relationship with someone, whatever kind of relationship it is, it can be a friendship, it can be a business relationship, it can be family relationship, brother, sister, cousin, nephew, and all. You expect this person to stand right by the principles that keep this relationship what it is. If I have a girlfriend and hi Devil King, long time. So if I have a girlfriend and let's say we have gone to what do they call it? Yeah, finally you've caught me live. I think the schedules kind of clash, especially Monday to Friday. Yeah, so if you're in a relationship with a girlfriend and you have got to that level, second best, they call it second best, and the two of you go to second best, you don't expect your girlfriend or boyfriend to get to second base with anyone else. That's just the unwritten rule of relationships. If I'm in a relationship with let's say Martha, I don't expect Martha to get into a relationship with Emma. You get? So if Martha gets into a relationship with Emma, then she has broken the trust that I had in her, which take it up. But if she stays with me until such a time that we break off the relationship, she was trustworthy for the time that I was with her. That's basically how I can describe trust. Like someone stands right by you in terms of what terms and conditions you have, or terms and conditions that are expected in the kind of arrangement or relationship that you have. That is what could be trust. So today we're going to be talking about trust in the aspect of especially cars, okay? And remember, there is a time I did a broadcast, I think this was last week, and I was talking about the people that are involved in a car transaction and their responsibilities. And we talked about you the buyer or you the seller. Then we talked about the broker, and we talked about the mechanic, and then we talked about the guardian angel, whichever person you choose to go with as a guardian angel. So we talked about these people and their expected responsibilities, because in every kind of arrangement there are responsibilities. Baneka spasio kaka nukacha mseli ateka spasio new model neka spasio empia ekuchamuka keja. This is being lazy banange. Moro kempia zineza viviti itaina kuchamuka ko zine moro katezinywa mazi moro kajikebereko every 2 days olabo amazi mu radiator gachalimu. Check if in the reserve tank there is still water, because the reserve tank is halfway. Always make sure of that. That is one thing that I always make sure. Nzine unya nabantu emoroka bizichamuka. Emoroka bebate nachamuka, it smells a certain way. Before a car overheats, there is a certain smell that it emits. Even when you're inside, you can feel that smell. You get? Nzenda bike emoroka obana zitegera butegezi. I'm not a mechanic, but there is a way. Emoroka bebate nachamuka ko kutuka to the point of yokwezikiza. I can feel the smell and I know that now this car is actually overheating, and I park aside, and yeah, you get what I'm saying. So emoroka teina kuchamuka ko. If you don't know how a car that has overheated smells, if you ever find a car that has overheated on the road, stop, go and pretend to help them, or ulibwe kati nze njimanye emoroka overheating ze bwekolachi oba erimu overheating bwebera. Nze sifunangako. There is a time my radiator had a problem and I could know that this car is going to actually overheat, and in fact it was overheating. Natemwali mazzi nali bwe najitwala kulanji, I think bagisumulu bamazzi ne gakola ki naye era yalina kakatuli and the next day I bought a new radiator system. Yeah, nagula a new radiator system, radiator, reserve water tank, and the fan. Yeah, because I know one time wajja kuba wagwa kabenje ngiye yononese nnyo natalina kyakkola ng'eyange eri gye najja omwange esobola omukolerayo akabanga paka bw'aligula nga nange ngimuguza, because that's how the world works. So trust, people. We are talking about trust today. I feel good, by the way. I feel good. You know, being alive is a very good thing. Buli bw'oba omulamu nga your body is okay, your mind is okay, you can do plenty of things. It doesn't matter what kind of life you're going through, however hard it is. Naye bw'obanga toyina wakuluma ng'amaanyi go galina, you should thank God that you're actually alive. Some people are struggling bali ku oxygen. When they say there's oxygen, some people are even back with morphine to reduce the pain. So if you don't have pain, you need to thank the Almighty, whichever Almighty you pray to, because I realize that there are so many religions and it's not a fair thing, but whichever God you praise, today I woke up grateful that I could actually wake up. So I woke up and I ran my 15 kilometers, and after running my 15 kilometers I have a dog, so I went and cleaned the kennel, and then I'm designing a website now. By the way, I design websites as well. So I'm working on a website. Afterwards, when I cleaned the kennel, then I took a shower. Then I went and started designing this new website I'm working on. I'll share the link here. Then afterwards, I had creatine, the creatine wangenyama. Then I went to the gym. So I'm out of the gym now. Normally I do this broadcasting and I'm gym. But I'm grateful to God that I could actually do all those things. You get? So if you're there, thank God. Nebobanga, you're not very well financially. Nebobanga, your business last week made a loss. You need to be grateful to God and keep a smile on your face. You get? And then re-strategize, because you're never not to be itamo, but you need to actually re-strategize and find a way to make things work out. So trust is what we're going to talk about. Spatio, that is, yes, poor maintenance. Arthur, good evening. Where do you go for gym and how much I need to work out when I return? Gym ze Kampala zilinge standard. Tokenda mu gym y'omutwalo. Buli kyalo kiriko gym y'enkumi ebbiri. 2,000. Yeah, I pay 2,000 every time I go to the gym. 2K. Of course, oyinza okwagala gym y'omutwalo, no problem. Jeziri ez'omutwalo waliyo n'ez'ettaano, depending on, of course, the location. Kati naalya naye ne munnaalya mulimu gym z'ebbiri. Gym y'ebbiri tebula ku kyalo. Jeziri. Why is it rare to get a manual Toyota Alex? It's very rare because the people that import these cars import automatic cars, because most guys that buy cars actually buy automatics. So it's an issue of demand and supply. So when majority of people that are demanding for Alexes want drive automatic, nabazi importing and nabo importing by importing automatics. So I have to go and actually buy these things. Someone was complaining banange nangamba Arthur oyitirira okukola ebintu ebirala ng'oli ku live. But these live broadcasts are easier to do when I am actually driving, going somewhere, and that's why I end up doing these live broadcasts. And so I beg that you actually bear with me. And it's actually also more natural to do these live broadcasts in Korachi. It's more natural because no kulima nako kuba kuzibu. Manyi omuntu akwetegekedde naga katika ngine nkole broadcast eno ng'ajetegekedde agiwandiise n'ogiwandiika. Anyway, bantumye ate ebintu byeno organic. So Manual Alex JZ. The other thing you could do, you could buy an automatic Alex. No, you choose. Let the Sagara bring it. You could buy an automatic. Njagala n'omuwondo ono alabise bulungi wammeka. Yego oli mukwongerako. Njagala oli omungi. You guys see this? So, this is 5K. This is njagala oli owa red oli yazaamu omusaayi. Anti njagala red yekka. Njakuwagira olulala. Kasita mmwe bamu. Anti mmwe bamu. Kyobola bamutundira wamu. Nabiguze bino. Nabiguze bino byombi naguze eggulo. So if you want a manual car, the mechanics in Kampala actually transform these cars. They convert them. Najichusa, najija ku automatic, najiza ku manual. So we're going to talk about trust. Trust, which defines it, and I have a number of pointers that I've talked about, that I've pointed out for you to know when to trust. Because in the circles of cars, for example, if you're going to own a car at any moment, you will need to trust your mechanic. To get a trust that you miss the morning. Yeah. Hi Isabiri. Good evening. So you know from a mechanic go trust you. Abantu wamu kati mwali badde mukola mwali badde mwewane gundi bewane tani ne baga katoyo uwo olyo wange bwe kyali badde kasita mwe wamu kasana yakiwulidde
era wano nambuuza otwala kuliwa
kati yenna mutwala totadde mu nnyongeza banna yongeza ono omukyala tayagala kunnyongeza nze siri musiraamu abasiraamu be bagaana ennyongeza
tebagigana
amayuni gammeka nga matono go nga matono ago omukyala yajja osobola okugagula sijja gasobola nyina bye mutwalira naŋŋamba kale ate bino biba bikusedde anti ng'ogampa ku ttaano gonna kale gampe sente zizino ziweddewo ziraba ziweddewo gubadde mutwalo oli nampa ne muwaaka ettaano nkalaba akasujju naye zizino kati ndeeteraako bane bizinesi muzirabye nteeraako abo business muzirabye mbagamba marketing is a different thing. People, you should avoid in a business, whichever business it is, you should avoid having people buy from you as ntibakusaasira in way of pity. You should avoid it. It's not a good thing. And half of these ladies, by the way, half of these ladies are struggling because they are married to men that don't struggle. Atibawa alikupurwa azanya somewhere bali mukunywa mwenge yali na struggling asobola okufuna sente zira atuse n'okwegayirira bakasitoma bakoleki bamuguleko okitegeera. Anyway, eyo tuveeyo. It costs like how much to change to manual transmission. Auntie, you need to understand, if you're going to change a car to manual transmission, we're going to take more costs. A soaker, you're going to buy a gearbox. Okay, you're going to buy a clutch plate. You're going to buy pressure plate. Okay, you're going to buy a pressure plate. Then ogenda gula clutch pedal. There are so many cables there. Then ogule clutch cylinder. I think basically the ogule gear lever. I think those are the basic things that you're going to buy. Then otesini mechanic agenda okubikyusa, because by now they put holes there mu body. Then baba bamanyi conversions. So kati I can't tell you the exact cost because I don't know how much they are going to sell to you the box, the clutch and all that. But it depends on where you buy and how many gearboxes are in the market at the moment. Batunda bakolima naye maama ataddeko yaki owaki anti ebiseera ebimu kyovolaba abantu tebabagulaako. It's a very bad thing nti omuntu ofubanga nnyo okulaba nga totuuka mu situation where you actually have to kolima for people to buy from you. Okitegeera but obagulako because abantu abo balaba banoonya fees. Azaala abaana nga banoonya buli mwana ajja n'omukisa gwe n'atuuka, and majority of those ladies by the way baba baana mukaaga musanvu kati abeeraawo nga struggling mu nnimiro ejajja, because these are very fresh foods straight from the garden. The sweet potatoes are fresh straight from the garden. The yams that I've bought are straight from the garden. So they go to their gardens, dig, and they come. That's why some of them come very late in the evening. Abawakanga amazeno okulya emmere najja naye ahasolinge. So abamu kwabo abantu abanoonya 15 za lunaku to buy sugar, okitegeera, afiseeka asasule fees, okitegeera. But ebintu ebimu bwe tubyogera wano, actually when we have these discussions here on these live broadcasts, abantu abamu babitwala nga byakusaaga, but 10-20 years from now abatabiwuliza bye twogera ku live zino bajja kumaliriza nga balinga abo abakyala ng'okolimira bakasitoma okukola ki, okugulako. And takolimira customer, buli customer ajja bali ku mudaala gwe gumu naye ate akolimira ani oli munne oba bali mu katemba. I don't know. Anyway, let's go back to trust. We are talking about trust as a concept in especially buying cars, maintaining cars, keeping cars on the road and selling cars, because well, this channel is about cars. But also trust. There are also cars that there are also areas where the concept of trust actually works. Relationships, business arrangements, family. Trust is very important, and for someone that has been through instances where the people you trusted probably broke your heart, it's very easy for you to not trust anyone. And JK is saying there are some broke people I don't feel sorry for. Munange JK, why I feel sorry for some of these people is because abantu abamu baba tebamanyi. Some of these people don't know. You see the discussions we have, JK, most of the times on these live broadcasts. Do you realize that there are people that don't know, people whose eyes just open? Naga, hey, this is also a thing. You get it? So unless you have actually been exposed, no matter the dangers of something, some of the people actually have, for example, I'm talking about kids because this is a concept that is dear to me. I've seen so many people make mistakes. I'll give you an example. In my own home, my wife wanted 5 kids, but you know the reason she wanted 5 kids is because her mother had 5 kids. Tiyaina reason indala yonna yonna eri mu magezi gy'asobola kuwa nti lwaki ayagala abaana 5 naye ng'ensonga ye gy'alina kuba maama we yazaala abaana 5. Okitegeera kati there are women like those ones that have had 7-8 kids because in their home bakula abaana 7-8, and trust me, ask many women and they will tell you the reason they are having and many kids is because there were many in their home. So nze lwaki mbasasira because abamba bikola mbutamanya. Okitegeera omuntu nakula obulamu bwe bonna bonna n'abeera mu kubona because they made a decision mu butamanya. It's ignorance. So JK, always try owulire kati n'okolima okwo kwennyini butamanya. Me, I've actually learned in life when nagenda okusoma marketing. there's one thing I learned. Don't create a product that doesn't have a ready market. Don't create a product that doesn't have a ready market. We want to correct product etaina ready market ogenda kutandikira okunyigira abantu kati ngaba abantu banyigira abantu China. Of course I like yams, that's why I've bought the yams, and it's a long time since I bought yams because I'm the only person that likes yams in my home. So I've bought the yams basically ragangi. But I feel pity for them because it's money. You'll find that most homes tubamu waliwo families nga zibadde poverty since the great grandparents, and the reason they have that poverty across generation after generation is simple. It is because the poverty is generational, because even the ignorance is generational. Okitegera obutamanya bava ku generation ne budda ku generation eddako ne buva ku generation eddako ne budda ku generation eddako. Okitegera nga jjajja yali ignorant, great jjajja yali ignorant, jjajja n'abeera ignorant, maama n'abeera ignorant, omwana gwazadde n'abeera ignorant, abaana be bazadde ne baba ignorant, abazzukulu kwegamba the family. That's why you find that families that have been rich end up with being rich anyway. You need to feel pity for sometimes basa asirabambi. Talk about cars between 5 to 7 million in this current situation. The only car that I would advise for you to buy 5 to 7, the Ipsum, that one you'll definitely get. The second car you might, I'm saying, mark my words, might get is the Toyota Primo. The second car that you're bound to get, yo jajifuna nayenga. Most of the times I don't recommend it because akatale kayo katono ye Chibina, Corona Chibina, or bagita Corona 190. That one you can also get, but I don't recommend it because akatale kayo katono atakusinga ka Ipsum. Osobola okufuna me, but nayo akatale kayo katono, so I don't recommend it. So the two cars, the Ipsum you'll definitely get, and you'll get one that doesn't have a lot of work to do. Primo you'll get, it will have some work to be done because Primo is old model. They're not really worth the money that they sell them. There's a Moro Kazenda was also kufunanga nunji. The other cars we bagamba nti bagiguze mpozo oyinza ofuna ne RAV nunji ejja kubambi okitegeera ojja gigula $7,000,000 ogimayiremu $6,000,000 which you don't want. Okitegeera kale moroka zogenda okugula ozigule sente ezo $5,000,000 ku 7 nga nungi zezo zenkugambye pozo oyinza ofuna G-Touring, oyinza ofuna karibu ndoze moroka zenyugiramu zonna oziwira nti they are old cars naye nga the most common car that you can get nga eri mu condition nungi ejja kuba Ipsum. Nekibiina bw'ogigwako mu million nga bagigamba $5,000,000 naye etera okuba ennungi, naye Primo $5,000,000 ku 7 teba nnungi. That's one thing you need to understand as well. Yeah. Hi Solomon, long time. Ennaku zino akatale ko kaatabuka bagayi bange. Ekyo kyombeere nga mukimanyi nti moroka baziseera nange neebuuza lwaki baziseera. But I think it comes from the fact kolaki n'empya baziseera n'abatunda enkadde nabo bajja ziseera. Why? Because when my son Aban does something bad, and then you ask him, Aban, why did you do this? He says, because then he says, because paka bw'okivako. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to be talking about the concept of trust, and I've said trust applies in basically mbulamu bwaffe bwonna, relationships, business. Even when you go to buy something from the shop, you want to buy from someone or from a shop that is trusted, from a retailer that is trusted. Even when you're dealing with your brothers and sisters, nabo inambo tesiga. And I defined trust earlier as someone start doing right by you. Now doing right by you, ye muntu okola ekituufu ky'alina okukola kugwe. Regardless of the situation that is happening, that is trust. Ye muntu gw'ogamba nti ajja kukola ekituufu by me ky'alina okukola kunze oba ku lwange, no matter what happens. Trust. And the last weekend we talked about the parties that are normally involved in a car buying process. We talked about a seller, we talked about a buyer, we talked about a mechanic, we talked about a broker, we talked about a guardian angel. Now, guardian angel is any other person that you go with to help you make the right decision or make utomera. Yeah, and we talked about the responsibilities of all these guys. Now, a trusted person in this relationship, for example, will have to do exactly what we talked about. No matter what happens, nti bwogenda with someone ne bwebamwa million 2 agambe gule moroka enfu tajja zikwata. I gave you a situation, for example, twagenda ne makanika ngayi yatuyita ono yatuyita ali makindi mu kabondi natugamba, I don't have time, I want to buy a car from here, don't waste time, let's choose the best from these cars. Naye emmotoka zonna ze bamuguza bamuseera nga Subaru embali bagimuguza $2,200 Forester naye nga ya $13,000 mu katale, naye nga yali akoze eki asazeewo nti bwe tugamba gula agula. Abasajja b'omu kabondi nga batuwa $1,000,000 namba, waliwo $1,000,000 wano mu mugambe bugambye akole ki asasule because agambye mwe musalawo, but we knew bali bamuba RAV4 nga bamuguza RAV4 $16,000 naye nga mu katale ya $9,000,000. Ne tumugamba no, these guys are going to cheat you, let's go era ntuvulire moroka $9,000,000 gye yagula n'agenda. Okitegeera nga ne transfer yago actually before he went, he was going to Soroti before he went nga ne transfer gitaddemu egenda kugwa. I'm sure it went through because it's over 3 months now. Yandibadde yankwira nangamba wanguze moroka etagwa transfer. Anyway, let's talk about trust. I have a few pointers that I've done here, and for us to understand how do you know a person that is trustworthy bw'oba ogenda to do anything. I realize this is very important for us as human beings. Buli kitukola tugenda kuba tugenda mu relationship. Ne bw'oba ogenda kugula moroka, you're going into a business relationship with someone. Ne bw'oba ogenda kanika moroka, you're going into a business relationship with someone. Ne bw'oba ogenda kugula, let's say, a radio for your car, ogenda mu business relationship. Ne bw'oba ogenda to do service, you need to go to a trusted place. Okitegeera. Ate bino ebintu era bakasitoma bye babesingako okumanya omuntu gwe baba bawagira. Point number 1, a trustworthy person is consistent. Now, what is consistency? Consistency is ngomuntu Jeke talked about it. I'm trying to recall the word in English. Contradicting. A person that doesn't contradict themselves. Okitegeera. Tatamwatamwa bwagamba tugende wano erugogo mugenda lugogo. Okitegeera. Tagamba tugende wano erugogo ate n'omulaba ng'avuga dda ku Masaka Road. Okitegeera. Tatamwatamwa teyeerya ntama. Uganda ngandu manyi. Okitegeera. So a person that is, for you to know that a person is trustworthy, this is the person that will be consistent with what they say, with what they do, and with whom they deal with. Okitegeera. When you find a person ng'abuukabuuka, okitegeera, osanga omuntu ng'abuukabuuka, oyo omuntu ebiseera ebisinga ajja kuba tali trustworthy. Okitegeera. The second thing, a person that is trustworthy will be compassionate. Compassion, remember when we were watching this movie of Jesus, bagiyitanga the Passion of Christ. A compassionate person aba afa ku balala. Okitegeera. A compassionate person aba afa ku balala, teyeefaako yekka. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Teyeefaako yekka. They are not selfish. I think the other way to say it is that they are empathetic. Yeeteeka mu bigere by'omuntu omulala. N'amanya nti omuntu ono bw'akola ekintu kino, for example, kijja kumusuula, ajja kuba akoze ensobi. Okitegeera. Compassionate oba empathetic. Okay? If you find someone nga tali empathetic n'akatono, don't deal with them. That's not a trustworthy person. Okitegeera. Someone atali empathetic atasobola kukulowoozaako, you're dealing with someone naye ng'omulaba. I think this is a quality that most brokers don't have, and if they pretend to have it, they are simply trying to make a transaction. If you have not watched Council Yunus's video, go watch it. I know no seka yamuyita musiramu nanga musiramu gwe tofaayo emmotoka eno ogiraba bajja kukubanja n'emyaka 2 naye nga amazima on the agreement is going to be 4 months. Okitegeera. bambi kanso Yunus n'agula emmoroka ng'amanyi bajjamu banje emyaka 2 teyasoma na ndagaano nga yeesize musiraamu munne okitegeera kumbe musiraamu munne amutomeza. That person was not empathetic at all. Most brokers are not empathetic at all. Tulina bwe twali tugula emmoroka nze babroka nembe ekyangira kunemba gambe banna njala kumala kulaba transfer zino nga zikola ki because broker yatulimba empapula zonna zindagaano kwenda gulira weeri endagaano eyanguza ku yagulira weeri tugenda okutuuka nga tulese sente nga mugamba endagaano ziriwa nga alina kuyagulira yekka okitegeera. I don't deal with people that are not omuntu alimba abatali empathetic abatatafuddeyo kulowooza nti gwe kikyoyitamu oyo muntu. That person is not trustworthy okitegeera. People that are trustworthy have humility. Tebeepanka okitegeera. They have humility. Naye ate most times people mistake humility for low self-esteem. I don't know, okumanyirwa. Omuntu alina humility oba ateepanka aye tekitegeeza nti yabakkiriza okumanyirwa. Waliwo okumanyirwa ne wabaawo n'okubeera nga omuntu teyeepanka okitegeera. Good evening Paul. Yeah. Okitegeera. A person that has humility is a person that doesn't underlook anyone. They know that every human being deserves respect. Every human being is a human being akolachi that is worthy of respect. Bannange ndabye ffene naye kamwerekereze tugende maaso ne broadcast yakubira omusajja atuleetera ku ewaka okitegeera. Now they have humility but they respect boundaries. A person omuntu alina humility aba asobola okwogera na buli muntu, but a person that is trustworthy takisussa. They respect boundaries. Ontegeera. It's important for you to know your boundaries. I'll give you an example. If you come to me and you pay me to do pre-purchase inspection, you are my boss. Oba mukama wange in this arrangement. Okitegeera. Oba mukama wange. Now I need to know that boundary. Nebwemba ekintu kyogenda okukola nkitegeera okusinga. Osobola okuŋŋamba nti omanyi Arthur nze yemmoroka gye njagala wadde togikkiriza. I have to respect ne mmanya nti oli mukama wange. I of course have a right of saying omanyi I don't agree with that decision, but it's okay, you can go forward. That's me respecting my boundaries. I've told you what I think because the basic reason why you hired me is to give you my opinion, but not to make a decision for you. Okitegeera. So they respect boundaries. Buli wobanga n'omuntu nga tamanyi boundaries, you can never trust that person because omuntu ata respecting boundaries nawe abata ku respecting. Okitegeera. We are talking about cars. Wadde twogera ebintu bino ebikwata ku bulamu bwonna. We are talking about cars. This happens when you're taking your car for repair, you're taking your car for maintenance, when you're going to buy a car, when you're going to sell a car. Okitegeera. Ekintu ekyo njagala okitegeere. A person that is trustworthy respects boundaries. Now, a person that is trustworthy also compromises. I don't know if you get what compromise means. Compromising means that there is something that I wanted to achieve. There is something I wanted us to do. But I also want something. So let's try to find a middle ground. That's a person that compromises. Bw'oba ogenda kugula emmoroka, seera nga talina bwa compromise anyway, that's not a person you can trust. Okitegeera. Yeka emmoroka eriko ekipapula kya mitwalo 2 n'omugamba omanye ekipapula kisasula gaasi kisasula gwe oba togitwala gireke. That's not a person to buy a car from. Okitegeera. Broker ababuzaabuziza. There is a time this broker told us mujje ekireka. We went to gye twagenda okulaba Sienta n'atugamba waliwo ne Primo. The biggest interest for me was in the Primo. N'atugamba waliwo ne Sienta 2. Tutuukawo Sienta, the person that wanted to buy n'agamba pasigenda kugula Sienta. Hi Adam, njagala Primo. Tumugamba bana tukubira omusajja wa Primo ajje tugirabe nti ate omusajja wa Primo takwata. Okitegeera. Compromise. The point of compromise I wanted was give us the number fe tukubeko tulawo baana akwata. The guy refused. Now a person that refuses to compromise to that point is a person to not trust. Okitegeera. era onenvaawo nengamba oyo guy sigenda kuddamu kudiiringa naye okitegeera twakamugulako I think 2 cars but nensalawo I'm not going to deal with him because if you cannot compromise, there is actually a time he had refused to compromise. He's a broker naye nga tayagala ffe tudiiringe with the real car owner. Paka real car owner nze when I defied everything nengenda nze wannanyini mmoloka and I started talking to her and then agreement yo nayo yali eganye, it worked. Naye ng'ekyali kiganye the car to be sold or bought was the broker nga yaganye compromisinga okitegeera. Now a person that you can trust is a person that doesn't expect something for nothing. When you're in a kind of a business transaction, you've seen these brokers where you go to, for example, now I'm talking in terms of because I know most of you guys have actually bought a car before. So you go to buy a car, broker badde abatute ku mmoloka neremwa nako kati ngulira ekyo ngulira. They expect you to give them money for nothing, no work done. Okitegeera kati tompadde yebiri ejaaki. Your role was to broker a deal. You have failed to broker a deal. So why am I paying you money? A trustworthy person always gives you something and you give them something back. In a relationship, I think that's what JK was saying. JK achifuna in a different light in a relationship. In a relationship, yeah, let's say a romantic relationship, I love you, you love me back. That's the core of a romantic relationship between a man and a woman. Kati bwekidda on money, nze omukazi muwa sente naye talina kyampa in return for the money. She's expecting something for nothing. Now majority of women will say I give you sex, but Nedith. But sex, you give me sex, I give you sex. We both give each other sex. So why am I paying for sex and you're not paying for sex? When someone expects something for nothing, then that's not a trustworthy person. Era we were talking with Martha, and Martha actually said, a woman that loves you atya kusaba sente because atyo kunyiza, because akwagala achimanyi, regardless of whatever happens, whether you're broke, whether you're rich, you guys, there is a connection you have. That's a person you can actually trust. Now a person that actually you can trust is a person that is relaxed. Omuntu nga panicking amanya waliwo kyakukweka. Whenever someone panics when they are dealing with you, aba ina kyakweka. People that have nothing to hide have relax. There's a time I was buying a car. Guy nangamba ngamugambe nja kudda. Sibako kuse ku motoka ne mugate nsibako yaaki. Bwebe moroka eri bituufu. It's okay nangamba naye abantu bajja okugirambula bagenda kugigula. Nga bwe banagigula nga noonye endala. It's not like this car was bagikolera nze nzekka. Omulala bwagigula nze nga noonya nange endala. So he was panicking. Agamba bwe bagenda nyinza obutatunda, and indeed emotoka ekyaliwo tebannagigula. So they were hiding something. They were panicking. Omuntu ali trustworthy abeera relaxed. Ne bw'omugamba okay sijja kugula lwalira ali okay. Okitegeera? Because ali makubo matuufu, they are straight. Buli bw'olabanga omuntu. Of course they are respectful when it comes to time, but that's not something I'm going to talk about because in Africa generally that's not something we have. Omuntu agangenda kujja ku saawa 4 najja ku 7 and they find it normal and they don't even apologize for it. Then a person that is trustworthy is a person that shows gratitude, that is grateful for things that you do for them. Buli bw'obeeranga nga omuntu bw'omukolera ekintu ate tasiima. That's of course something that I'm not going to talk about a lot as well. Why? Because waliwo abantu abatasiima. Naye omanyi lwaki Abaganda bagamba etasiima ebulaagiwa? It's because buli bw'obeeranga tosiima abantu batandika okujjamu obwesigwe. Because obanga yo mukyala wange atera kiyita kweyagaliza. Mu Luganda kiba kweyagaliza, yakyogera mu Luzungu. Okitegeera. Then people that are trustworthy are never desperate for money. They are never desperate for money. Omuntu ali trustworthy nga si mubbi. They are not going to be desperate for money. Ngoyo omusajja gwemba nyumirizo emmoroka yangamba siba ku mmoroka siba botagisiba ko bajja gitwala ne kakati bagitwalanga. And I'm talking about a car that I tried to buy like 2 months ago. naye emyezi ebiri akyagina tebagigulanga kitegeeza something was wrong with that car ng'agamba kale bwe batagula at least kambeko zembabbako. And I'm sure that everyone that has bought a car before, you have been in a situation where you are not ready to buy a car ngoyagala kuddayo kwerowooza gaina kale gisibeeko. Temusiba ku mmotoka ever. Nze sikkiriza muntu kusiba ku mmotoka. Okitegeera. Awakening, probably you did not hit the bell. When you go bwogenda ku channel waliwo akade the bell picture. You need to hit the bell and say all videos over all notifications. Then you'll be they were activating notifications. Okitegeera. So a person that is desperate for money buli wobodiringa naye tali trustworthy. Era actually nze buli wondaga that you're desperate for money kati nga bwolaba abo abakyala bwakolima kale nze tonguzeeko lwaki ogulako oyo nze awo nga nvaawo kati nga noonye walala wengula awo siddamu kuyimirirawo. Okitegeera. Era is the first time to actually buy from that particular mudaala because wali emidaala ng'enaawo otukyamira. Okitegeera kati ngenda ku midaala emirala. They are too desperate for money. They are not trustworthy. Those people can do anything for money. Omuntu ali desperate, they can do anything for money. I was talking to a certain gentleman. He's a big man. Nangamba, you know what, Arthur? Me, I'm very, very careful when I'm dealing with people that have nothing to lose. Kati omuntu ebiseera ebisinga ali desperate, they have nothing to lose. And those are people that you should not deal with. People that have nothing to lose. Omuntu buli bwabeera nga they have nothing to lose. They can do anything. They can do anything. Ensonga lwaki olaba nti ababoda banguyirwa okwokya emmotoka z'abantu. Banguyirwa. Because akimanya agenda kuvuga boda yaveewo mangu nnyo swiftly togenda gyojja mujja. They have nothing to lose. It's very rare to find someone ayina emmotoka ng'ayokya owa boda ne bwaba mu nsobi. Why? Ow'emmotoka they have nothing to lose. Talina gy'agenda kuddukira. Ku kyalo, it's very rare to find someone that has some money ng'alulunkana. Era abatera okululunkana ne batalina ssente. So, probably we should all avoid being desperate always. Kati laba ndabina omudaala omwe gwensobola ogulako lumonde kati abakolima abo mbabuuse. Yeah, they are right a lot of time. Bayirawo omuntu ali trustworthy. Ebintu byakugamba ebiseera ebisinga bibeera bituufu. Buli wobeeranga ne mukwano gwo ne muganda wo nga buli bwe mwogera ku kintu akugamba kino kyojja okukola lwa nsonga eno n'eno n'eno. Okitegeera n'omuwakanya n'okola ekirala ogenda okwesanga nga gayi yali mutuufu. Ebiseera ebisinga that's the person that you should trust. Okitegeera. But it doesn't mean that all the time it's the case. Sometimes people be wrong naye nga they are trustworthy. Okitegeera. But then you have to consider all the other things that we have actually talked about. Okitegeera. Then trustworthy people are also learners. They learn. They don't pretend to know it all. Those are people that are trustworthy. They don't pretend to know it all. Omuntu buli wosanga nga pretending nti buli kimu akimanyi. Ne situation gye wali oyisemu nga yalaga agimanyi okusinga negwe kyolimu ne business gyolimu nga tagikolangako ng'akulaga agimanyi. I know such people. Nga ye buli kimu akimanyi. Nga ye buli bwe mwogera ku mataka nga nange nyina ploti gye nagula luli. Bwe mwogera ku pikipiki nyina akapiki ke nasuubula. Bwe mwogera ku mayuma nalina akazimba ennyumba zange ez'abapangisa. Bwe mwogera kusuubula China ngaga ankuwanga nti yali asuubula China naye biki. Abantu bwe bati know it all. They are not trustworthy. Era buli wobanga odininga n'omuntu naye nga ye akulaga nti buli kye mwogerako akimanyi, buli kye muyitamu yali akiyiseemu. Such people and if you have noticed, brokers know it all. That's why I keep telling you guys, don't trust brokers. Brokers pretend to know it all. And why do they pretend to know it all? But for them, and majority of people trust people that pretend to know it all. Abantu abasinga bwe basanga omuntu nga buli kimu alinga akimanyi, then they start trusting them. Kyovula bababba, kyovula abasajja abanene abo ab'embuto be batera okubba. Abasajja ab'embuto ebiseera ebisinga baba balina idea ku buli kimu. Baba balina idea ku, omanyi lwaki balina idea ku buli kimu? It's because abasajja abo ab'embuto, people trust them a lot. So they end up going to places, they end up escorting people. I know a certain man, when I nchali kasanga tinagendanga na yemo gym, he was fat, really fat. And he told me, ye wasinga okufunira sente ku size ye. People go and they do bids nga bagezako okufuna emirimu, and because they are tiny bachimanyi tebajja kufuna mirimu ne bamutwala to meetings. and then he's there like a manager, and majority of the time those people get deals. Why? Because katife na Uganda oba Africa, we have that thinking that omuntu alina olubuto olunene aba amanyi nnyo, omuntu alina olubuto olunene aba alina sente nnyingi. It's a psychological thing that is not very easy to deal with. Okitegeera. And that's why abantu abamu nyina n'emikwano gyange manyi abambira n'ebiweeke bagejje, very unhealthy. Okitegeera. But people that know it all are not trustworthy. Omuntu a pretending anti ye buli kimu akimanyi aba tamanyi. I have a friend of mine, ye buli kimu akimanyi, and because I'm in events, there is a time I needed police clearance. Nangamba oyo DPC wawe mumanyi gwe tofaayo, njagenda njogere naye ne mugamba kale nja kukubira. The time came for me to call that guy, mugambe nti owaye kati njagala police clearance tukubire oyo guy obu wagambe. Guy ate yatambuddemu. Ne nkigezesa ne second time ne mugamba tujire nampa excuse. Okitegeera, ne nkizuula nti now this is a kind of person that you trust less. You can trust them but not a lot, because kato yobo omuyize ye buli kimu aba akola ki akimanyi. Era, and it's something that we should stop. Byotamanyi tolimbalimba bantu nti obimanyi, because kati abantu bagenda babuuka, kati buli alabe video n'agenda kubuuka. Bwana akulaba nganga gwe weefula nti buli kimu okimanyi, they stop trusting you. Nange bino mbadde sibimanyi, nasomye ebisome ekyo bulaba ndi mbisoma ku lupapula. I read about it and then I noted down. There are so many ways we learn. We learn by experience, we learn by reading, we learn by watching. Abasajja ab'embuto Quran muli bayaaya abasi kale gwe oyinza oba toli muyayi naye abasajja ab'embuto bayayi. Trust me. Abamu, not all. But I know friends that have actually taken pills basobola okufuna embuto, basobola nabo okufuna ku deal eziri ensava. Okay. People that you can trust are always there for others. Maybe not there always, but they are there for others. Arthur, have you tasted sweet potatoes that are yellow and orange in color? So sweet. Yeah, I have. But the reason why I'm buying these red sweet potatoes is because I've read a lot. There is a time when my kid was sick, anemic, and they told us to buy those red sweet potatoes because these are more musai. So that's why when I'm buying sweet potatoes, I only buy the red ones. The other sweet potatoes are really sweet, zogamba. Yeah, the ones that they're orange actually inside. Yeah. Then people that are trustworthy are reliable. But nango omuntu ali unreliable amenya. Omuntu ali unreliable amenya ate nnyo. But reliable people can be trusted. Omuntu bwakugamba nti nja kuba mu kifo kino essaawa 8. You guys, I want you to see this view. This is a very nice view. This is a very nice view of this estate. Mujiraba. But of course kati wano wendi emotoka weri si estate. Estate ejeri across. Kati agamayumba goda bagasinga gali mu estate. But it's a very nice view. Simanyi oba camera yange naye ba wavyu amaaso gange je gayina. But it's a very nice view. So nebali abali wali bali bateeka okuba balina naye eno ennyumba eziri eno ate zo si nnungi nga ziri. It's a very nice view. That's why I shared. Anyway, reliability means that you do exactly what you say you will do. Okitegeera tolimba kyotasobola. And actually it's a tenet. It's one way that customers decide to either come and buy from you again or not buy from you again. If you're not reliable, nebo obanga you have the best quality products, nebo obanga you smile a lot, nebo obanga you're beautiful, chobola abasajja tuwasa reliability oba nimbya. N'abakazi by the way batukane bachoosing reliability. Omusajja nebo obanga you're handsome, nebo obanga you have a hot body, nebo obanga you have a lot of money, kasitobanga toli reliable, the chick will leave you. And reliability actually works in so many ways. Nti bwogamba nti ngenda nkole ojja genda okole, bwogamba nti ngenda kugula sukaali ojja kugula sukaali, bwogamba nti nja kuwanga ettaano buli lunaku ozimuwa. Okitegeera. Yeah, but reliability is actually important in everything we do. They are accountable. Trustworthy people are accountable at all times. They are accountable. omuntu atali trustworthy tabeera accountable yalowooza gwe tolina ky'omubanja era ebintu abikola nga ye bw'ayagala. So if you find a person that is not accountable nga tayagala namugambako, that's not a person you should trust. Why? Because ajja kukola ekikyamu era atambule butambuzi akola eki akuviire. That's one thing you need to understand. Trustworthy people are accountable with the people they deal with. Ekyo kijjukire. I don't want to say the point of loyalty, but majority of the time trustworthy people are loyal. And trustworthy people are trampled upon. Naye nga buli lwolaba omuntu nga tali loyal to a cause, loyal to people, loyal to a goal, okitegeera. Trustworthy people are loyal. They have integrity. Integrity and reliability are close, but integrity bwe muntu, they stand by their word. Okitegeera. Then trustworthy people are connectors. Bagatta abantu abalala. They try as much as possible tebaawulamu. Okitegeera, they are connectors. Tebaawulamu. They don't do divide and rule. Okitegeera kati mutegedde kyengendako naye sijja kukyogera. But trustworthy people don't divide. Tebaawulamu bantu. Bagatta abantu. And lastly, the very last thing, trustworthy people are competent. Never trust a person that is not competent. Whenever you trust a person that is not competent, gwafiirwa. Don't trust your life with an incompetent doctor. Don't trust your car with an incompetent mechanic. Don't trust your life, don't trust your heart with an incompetent girlfriend or boyfriend. Trustworthy people will have to be competent. And this is very important. Reliability is okay. Naye omuntu ali reliable nga tali competent amenya. Omuntu asobola okubanga buli ssaawa z'omwagala abeerawo bw'agamanya kuba obudde buti abeerawo naye nga buli wajja ayonoona bwonoonyi. Okitegeera. That's why when we go to inspect cars I come with a mechanic, because yes, he is competent in, he's competent in them. Okitegeera. Kati gogenda okukebera emmoloka ng'ogenze n'omuntu ali incompetent, kijja kusuula, kijja kutomeza. Okitegeera. So it's important for us to remember that biri byonna byonna tubyogedde, but it's important for you to always trust people that are competent. Omuntu atali competent tomutrustinga n'ekyo. Okitegeera. If it's building a house, find a competent engineer. If it's fixing a car, find a competent mechanic. Okitegeera. Don't find a cheap person, find a competent person. If it's doing accounting work, find a competent accountant or a competent accounting firm. If it's law, find a competent law firm or a competent lawyer. Okitegeera. Otherwise, bw'otakola ekyo, you're always going to be losing. By the way, there is a new building style that people are doing. This building style, bateeka shade bbiri. Waliwo shade ebeera ku kisenge ne shade ey'eddiiro. Like that house, it has two shades. The shade on the right is probably Rakuba. In a way, they also look like rentals. It's not clear. Ninga ate erabika ng'ennyumba eri emu. But I know a friend who built a house like that. Nga it has two shades. There is a shade on the kudiro sitting room, oba gibaita lounge. Then there's a shade also on his bedroom. But these ones kind of look like rentals because ziri ankomoze yagamba oyisaamu omukono wooti okuggalawo that you need to work hard. Okitegeera. So someone gave me a question. Please compare for me G Touring and Corona 190. I'm soon bringing you that business. Now, comparing a G Touring to a Corona 190 is kind of unfair. Why do I say it's unfair? Because the Corona 190 is a saloon. Okitegeera. I tell the G Touring is an estate. The G Touring is an estate. So most of the time people buy these cars for different reasons. If you're a business person, you should definitely buy the Corona the G Touring. The G Touring loads things. The Corona 190 kolanga Corolla yange byekola nti kwevuga kutambulamu okitegeera. Nenga zone moroka ziri reliable. The G Touring has a 1.5cc engine. The Corona can either have a 1.8 cc engine or a 2.0 cc engine. So those are the big major differences. So but the Corona and G Touring might not be a very good comparison. Probably you would say the Caldina and the G Touring. Caldina is 2000 cc, G Touring is 1.5 cc, but they do the same thing. The Caldina is much more comfortable than a G Touring. The G Touring is much more expensive than the Caldina. The G Touring has a higher market demand and resale value than a Caldina. Kati ezebbiri osobola ozikomparinga, but ziri emmoroka ebbiri, it would be unfair for you to compare them. Because zikola ebintu bya njawulo ne bbeeyi ya njawulo, era ne bw'oba ogula G Touring ejja kuba ya bbeeyiko okusinga ku Corona 190. So if you find a Corona 190 that is being sold at the same price as a G Touring, the G Touring will be in worse condition than the Corona 190. So that's probably one thing that you should know. So that comparison is not very good. But both cars are actually good. Both cars are actually very good. I love as many Porsches as I can, as as I can have on a house. I'm not a fan of, because I think that with every Porsche you have, that's exposure. I'm Uganda. With every Porsche you have, that's exposure to thieves. Uganda. So the more entrances you have, like my house has 3 entrances, and I find that the more entrances I have on my house, the more risks I have for thieves to actually come in. So the more you have. Caldina has just reminded me of the Carib. Exactly. So you can actually compare a Carib to the G Touring. The Carib has lower resale value than the G Touring. Definitely. Yeah, I think I've done that comparison, so I have to go, guys. I do web design, by the way. Yes, I do web design. Websites zange nazo za bei za mtwalo nga chinana. Of course, I know people that design websites for 2 million, but I also know people that design websites for 300. Yes, atusigirabangako bweyifaanana. Ntwawo okuziraba tezitanagenda live naye nga nazo gye ziri, but my websites are between 800 and 1 million, depending on what the capabilities. Arthur, tukole birungi ngowooza thieves, tukole birungi munnange, n'ennyumba yange erinamu kabyute olw'emiryango egyo, naye maama ababbi. With every entrance you have to increase the security. Yeah, so thank you very much, guys, for being part of this broadcast. I don't take it for granted that you guys take the time, spend the data, and the energy, because n'okutula obutuuzi okulaba bwoti ate bye bisinga okwetaaga amaanyi, okitegeera. So I don't take it for granted. Stuart, Pascal Joseph, of course Emma reminded me, but he's not here. I don't know why. Oba alabidde mu kamooli leero. Devo King, Jeremy, JK, Patrick Isabiri Anderson, Gonza Anthony, Solomon Chitumba, Bam Kakea, Paul Banaria, Adam Mugisha, Awakening Uganda, Nedith UG, Sekanja Kranima, yeah, Tademwa Paneha, thank you for coming. Yeah, thank you guys for coming. I'll be live still tomorrow at 5:15. Yeah, and still I'll tell you that next Wednesday and Thursday I'll still not be live, but the rest of the time I'll be live. Thank you very much for taking the time to actually watch this broadcast. Let me go calling ku website ya mukama wange na yetambule. I wish you a very good Saturday evening. Don't drink and drive. Don't go to the wrong person. And if you're determined to go to a person that is strange, put a rubber on. Ciao.